Alright, what is up guys, my name is Brian and I work for an artist name of Cloophie. So in this video I wanted to talk about chord progressions, or more specifically I wanted to talk about a single chord progression. I feel like there is honestly an overemphasis on chord progressions, finding a unique one. Some people think that if you use the same chord progression then the songs sound the same. And I want to take this video to just kind of tell you guys that that's not really true. In this video I'm going to show you guys 4 songs of my own that have pretty much the same chord progression, and I'm just going to show you the template, or like pretty much the basic template chord progression that I changed around so that it fits to each song. So yeah, let's get into it. So the 4 songs I have pulled up are Somewhere Else, Between Worlds, The Stars and I, and Blue Fantasy. Honestly, these two, Somewhere Else and The Stars and I, are kind of older songs. Between Worlds, I don't really know. It was on Ikigai's channel, so maybe you guys have heard of it. Blue Fantasy is obviously the title song of my album Blue Fantasy. But yeah, let's just take a moment and go through each of these so you guys know what it sounds like. So pretty chill, laid back kind of vibes. Between Worlds. Very, spacey and ambient, right? The Stars and I. Still kind of that same spacey, ambient type of vibe as Between Worlds, but a little more laid back, I would say. Finally, we have Blue Fantasy. A lot more energetic than the other 3. I mean, like, obviously you guys might disagree on this, but I do feel like all 4 of these songs are different in their own way. And surprisingly enough, they do all use the same chord progression. If you look at the piano pattern, right, or the piano roll of the individual songs, then you'll notice that they do look different, but pretty much they were all built the same template. So I'm going to show you the template chord progression. So this is pretty much the template chord progression that I use for like all of my songs. So if this is in the key of C, we have 4 major, so F chord major, 5 major, so G chord major, 6 minor, so that's an A chord minor, and then G major, 5 chord major. So it's pretty much this hill shape thing. But yeah, very basic standard chord progression, I would say. You'll find this a lot in pop songs. If you guys know like Chainsmokers, they pretty much always use this chord progression. It's in a lot of EDM songs like Stay by Zedd. It's a very common chord progression. But as you guys heard before, these songs all sound very unique. They all have their own feels. So I just kind of want to make the point that using the same chord progression doesn't really mean that all your songs have to sound the same. So I have here pretty much the chords that I used for each of these songs. And obviously it doesn't look exactly like the template that I showed you, but if you look at the bottom notes here, and this is for Somewhere Else, but if you look at the bottom notes here, you'll notice that the root shape is pretty much the same. It's going up the hill and it doesn't go back down, but pretty much the basic shape is there, right? And up here is the melody, but the melody is built pretty much on the chord progression, right? So this is what Somewhere Else sounds like. And then this is for Between Worlds. Same root notes again, just maybe in a different key. The Stars and I. So this one is different, right? So instead of having the chord change over here, I instead have it over here, and this one is one long chord, right? And then Blue Fantasy. So this one has the exact pretty much shape of the template, goes up, goes back down. So as you guys notice, they're pretty much all built from this template, but these songs all do sound, unique and different, right? There's a lot of ways to make a song unique. I don't want to go too in detail because that's not the point of this video, but just to summarize a few things, maybe you can add, obviously you can use different sounds. So Somewhere Else, I did use a lap soft piano. I think for Between Worlds and The Stars and I used like an electric piano with a lot of reverb on it. Blue Fantasy, I used a different piano, I think from Keyscape. You can just use different sounds and you still use the same chord progression to, make a whole unique song. Obviously, the stuff that you layer on top of the chord progression and the main basic piano sound is also going to change how your songs sound. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk to you guys about not placing too much emphasis on finding that perfect chord progression. You can use the same chord progression for different songs. I feel like some people think that using the same chord progression for every song is bad and like just makes all your songs sound repetitive, and I just don't think that's really true. And if you don't like this template chord progression, you can also look up chord progressions for the songs that you like. You can just Google chord progression for, I don't know, like Stay by Zed or whatever, you know, and I'm pretty sure they'll have it. So there's no reason not to get stuck on chord progressions, you know, like spending days, hours on finding the perfect chord progression, because I feel like that should be one of the easiest parts in beginning a song, right? You have the chord progression and then the fun part comes in, you know, testing out different sounds, layering it on top of it, testing out different melodies. So that's pretty much it. Once again, don't get too stuck on the chord progressions. But yeah, I think that's it. So hopefully this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and I think that's it. So bye.